get into, we're going to talk about Joe Rogan and his video with Donald Trump. Why we talking about this video is because they suppressed his video. This man had 34 million views. Listen to me. 34 million views in 2 days. This video was going to break all kinds of records. 34 million views in 2 days. So much so that Elon Musk had to go on YouTube and search engines like Google to see if the podcast came up. It's not trending anywhere. Now you got to question, why is that? It was no profanity in it, maybe one cuss word in the whole podcast. They didn't play anybody else's videos because Joe was saying during the podcast that they didn't want to get copyrighted or give them any excuses to take down his video. This is what's happening right now. So let's start the video. Oh, I hate when my computer be acting weird sometimes, y'all. Let's start the video. Oh, hold on. I forgot to share it on my page. Dang. I was a little excited for y'all today.
Something happened. I'm sure it was a mistake at YouTube where you couldn't search for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a mistake.
It has
There's
to be a
no
mistake,
way that was
Joe.
on purpose. And so if you Googled Rogan Trump,
They got to Joe. They
you,
got to
you
Joe.
could
He's
only
apologizing.
you could only get clips. You couldn't watch the whole episode. You couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And so we reached out to them a couple of times and they fixed it, to their credit. So now you can find it.
Okay.
So this is part of the reason why I say they got this thing rigged up really, really good. For them to let Kamala go on a tour of babbling and a script that she always uses and nobody knows her answers or policies or what she actually thinks is crazy, to say the least. I think with all the immigrants being able to, the illegals being able to vote, burning ballot boxes, voter suppression. I mean, like suppressing people's videos like Joe Rogan and Donald Trump. Like you're suppressing the candidate to be, president, which is crazy and it's scary, to say the least. Did y'all see that they had reports of the Inflation Reduction Act, how they had all of those, they're talking about all of those terrorist groups that were getting funded in that bill. I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow if I get some time. But they were talking about, it's like 5 or 6 groups that are getting funded through the Inflation Reduction Act, and those people are trying to get paid out just in case they lose, to start inciting riots and stuff like this. This is what they claiming is going to happen. I've been seeing a lot of people buzzing about it. Dan Bongino, Ben Shapiro, Alex Jones. I've been seeing a lot of people, and I know I'm not supposed to say Alex Jones' name on YouTube or anywhere because he's a third rail, but I'm just gonna let that be known. This is the reasons why I'm saying, like, it's some shit in the game somewhere.
Good.
But so in the meantime, Elon was furious, and so Elon contacted Daniel Ek at Spotify, and they put it on X as well. So now it's on X. The full, and so now it has way more views. Because I think on Elon's alone, what is it on Elon's alone? Because Elon posted it and I posted it this morning. I posted it last night. I woke up, it was like 6.5 million views on mine, and 8+ million on his. So it's you can't suppress shit. It doesn't work.
Well, you can't suppress it, because even when you was talking about later on in the video, y'all gonna see you can't suppress certain things where it doesn't have the reach or the organic reach that it does. I'm gonna say this. Joe Rogan had 34 million views with Donald Trump. Listen to me, 34 million views with Donald Trump in 2 days. Kamala has an interview with Shannon Sharp, and I think the last time I looked at it was last night. It was at 1.2 million views. Everybody that I've been seeing and everybody's been on my live saying they voting for Trump. Is very few people that I know that said they voting for Kamala. Even the first time, listen to me, the first time the people that said they voting for their first time are voting for Trump. It's like weirdo ass people that's really voting for that side over there. Like we have DL Hughley out here speaking, and you know his daughter. He told us on Sway in the morning he didn't even want to believe his daughter that got raped because the guy that supposedly had did it, he liked him. And I ain't talking about liked him in the sexual manner, just he liked him as a guy.
This is the internet. This is 2024. People are going to realize what you're doing. If you try to make it so that something can't come up in a search engine because it's too popular. First of all, if that's not trending, you tell me what the fuck is.
Whoa.
Okay, so what's it at now? 8.6 million on mine, and what's it on Elon's? Because he has a lot more people on his than me. So that's just from last night. So, but you can't fucking suppress shit anymore. Like when you're saying that's why is that not in the trending? You have a trending thing. What's your trending thing really then? If one show has 36 million downloads in 2 days, like that
is insane. That is insane. I have not seen anything that Kamala has touched, breathed on, stepped foot in, podcast that did anything like that. Not even close. Not even past 2 million. I have not seen that yet. You're not going to make me believe that this woman is garnering this type of attention and going to get this many people out to vote. I'm just not going to believe it.
That's not trending? Like, what's trending for you? Mr. Beast? Like, I know he gets a little more than that, but
12 million for Elon.
So he's at 12. So it's
20 million total.
It hit 20 million in a day just on X. And that's just us. There's a ton of clips. There's a ton of other accounts that have done it illegally, where they've taken the full episode and uploaded it. Right. So who knows how many views those have.
So Joe, can I just check, why do you say you're certain it was just a mistake?
It's just a mistake. I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I didn't get that. Turn to Mr. Sarcasm. Okay.
Yeah, that's like, there's no way it was a mistake. That's too convenient. But it could have been like some rogue engineer. There's a lot of people that are working.
And you know what's crazy? Nikki03 say vote Trump. Y'all hear me out there? Say vote Trump. Y'all put in the comment section what y'all vote. I'm trying to get a temperature check. Is we in this comment section all voting for Trump except for the few widows we had yesterday?
Behind the scenes.
So you think they suppressed? That is so dumb, though.
But there's a video. You can watch the video of people searching for it.
I did
find it.
Okay, it wasn't showing up.
You couldn't find it. No. I couldn't find it. And then it got to the point where you only had to write. You had to write Joe Rogan. They fixed it a little, where you write Joe Rogan Trump interview, and then it would come up. But if you just wrote Rogan Trump, only you get the clips.
Do you think it kind of worked for the Hunter Biden laptop story? What they did and their tactics around.
Do you think companies suppressing interviews like this would be considered election interference? Put a 1 in the chat if you think this is election interference. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't think this is election interference. And also make sure y'all like the video, share the video, and make sure y'all follow me. It's the New Normal Podcast. But put on there, do you think this is election interference or not? Put a 1 in the chat, yes. 2 in the chat, no.
Around it. Now, obviously, it came out later and it was a big scandal, but at the time, it kind of worked. Yeah. Do you think they might have thought, well, it kind of worked?
Robert O'Neill said, Robert O'Neill said, Rogan will lose credibility after Trump is gone. Never align yourself with negative leaders. They drag you down. Why do you feel that way? Because what if Trump gets in there and does everything that he says? It goes seamlessly. You don't think he would gain credibility? Also, I don't know if you watched the full interview. Trump said basically you should endorse me, but Joe, he didn't even say anything. He just let Donald Trump keep talking. And Donald Trump said, yeah, you don't seem like a Kamala person. You don't seem like a Kamala person. You seem more like a Khabib person, but you definitely not a Kamala person. But Joe didn't even endorse him or anything. He said he wants to talk to Trump and he wants to talk to Kamala. And since she hasn't been on there yet, maybe she'll come. Who knows? It took 2 or 3 days. What we got? About 4 days before the election. She might pop up. So it would be dumb for him to endorse Trump right now if he still wants to get her on his show. Ms. Lee put a warning there. So that is for her, that is election interference.
But for this, therefore, we should try it for this.
I think they're desperate because they had no idea it was going to be that popular, and it's a runaway train, and they hate it because ideologically they're opposed to the idea of him being more popular. It's just like what we were talking about before, the left wing being in control of these massive media distribution companies like you.
So come on, let's be real. Trump is entertaining, and he know he winning. Right. I think most people know that they winning, even when you look at the migrant caravans coming from South America, because they say they think Trump is going to win. The election, how they're trying to suppress a lot of the voting, not allowing certain people into voting facilities. But I'm gonna say this: Trump is entertaining. Joe Biden got up here and called people, Trump voters, supporters, garbage. What Donald Trump going to do? Go get in the garbage truck and do an interview, do a whole rally with his reflection vest on. Me and Donald Trump literally had to have the same swag on my day-to-day life. I wear it all day long, and I got to see my president put one on too. Who could have thought of that? Tomorrow's the last day for early voting in Texas. Nikki, you already voted. And I hope you've been taking care of that man, like you said.
YouTube or like Facebook. They're massive companies. They have so much influence on everything. And they didn't like that this one was slipping away. And so they did something. And Jamie showed me like the image of the interactions. Like when they did that, it dropped off a cliff because people couldn't find it. So they just gave up, or they just watched the clips. So you see like how much downloads it's getting, and then it just.
What about that claim about the reporting taking it down?
What's that? Yeah, that could be it too, right? They were saying that if you mass report something enough. So what was the actual claim? Like somebody posted, I sent it to you, right?
Basically what you're about to say, if you mass report something enough, it might have just taken it out of the search, because it wasn't like they didn't delete the video from our channel or anything.
Right. So that could be
find
it
in the search.
And that could be possible too. It could have been a bunch of haters seeing Donald Trump video going up, and they could have just flagged it where they took it out of the algorithm. But, and this is why I hate TikTok. TikTok, if you say something wrong or somebody doesn't like you, they can get enough people to come flag your channel, and you could lose your channel on TikTok. Especially if you are a man, on TikTok and you have like red pill ideology or thought process, and you try to have these spaces and these lives where women get triggered, trust me, buddy, you're not going to be on TikTok long, or you're not going to be able to build long on TikTok, because TikTok allows anybody to flag your channel. They don't go and do any research. They don't go and watch what you were saying. They don't do anything. If it's a bunch of people come flag it, you out of there. And I think YouTube is a bigger enough company to where they should have some type of guardrails up, to where even if a bunch of people come and flag your channel, if it's not nothing that goes against YouTube guidelines, it should stay up. If it's not profane or whatever the YouTube guidelines talking about, sex, a bunch of sexual innuendos, hate speech, or any of those things, YouTube should allow it. But we already know these big companies and corporations are pulling for that side of the aisle because they know Diddy got arrested not too long ago.
That could be it. But that's also the same thing, right? Because it's people that are on the left that are mass reporting something to try to silence it, rather than just letting people do it. So maybe it's not the company itself, but it's the people that are attached to the ideology that the company follows.
So I'm going to say this. Vote to the end the useless wars. Vote to end the useless wars, lawfare, weaponizations, open border policies, surveillance, and censorship. Fred, those are good reasons to make me vote. Somebody got to call in today and actually have a conversation with me. If you see the call-in number, y'all need to convince me to vote. Because I honestly do think Trump has the best stuff as far as like money in my pocket. I don't know if those are going to be executive orders or those things have to go through Congress or not, and bills have to be passed. See, that's the only thing about when presidents make these promises. A lot of stuff has to have so many checks and balances, and you have to have the House and the Senate and all of this stuff to get certain bills to pass to actually do the things that you say you're going to do. And I don't know why we have so many people out here, judges, attorney generals, DAs, all of these people in these states that are okay with all of these illegals in the swing states voting. You got to ask yourself, why are they not making people show voter ID? Why aren't they making people show, their ID, identification? Why aren't they doing that? It's because they want to cheat. And it is rigged. And we can't say that. We're not supposed to say that. We sound crazy or loony if we go with the it's rigged idea of things. But let's be real. Nobody in their right mind is voting for Kamala. I'm sorry.